Sword of the Samurai is an action and strategy video game developed and published by Microprose in 1989 for the DOS platform. It features role-playing, strategy, and arcade elements set in feudal Japan. The player began the game as a little-known vessel samurai. His ultimate goal is to replace Oda Nobunaga. First Samurai, alternatively titled First Samurai, is a 1991 beat-em-up platform developed by VITA Image and published by ImageWorks. First Samurai was originally released in September 1991 for the Amiga and Atari ST, and was later ported to the Commodore 64 and MS-DOS and Super Nintendo. It was followed by a sequel, Second Samurai. In 2011, the First Samurai was ported to iOS.
武士道とは死ぬことと見つけたり、修羅道とは倒すことと見つけたり、我悪鬼羅刹となり、目の前の敵すべてを切る。
Samurai Showdown is a competitive fighting game developed and published by SNK for their Neo Geo arcade home platform. Released in 1993, it is the first installment in the Samurai Showdown series. In contrast to other fighting games at the time, which were set in modern time and focused primarily on hand-to-hand combat, Samurai Showdown is set in feudal-era Japan, similar to Kaniko's Shogun Warrior, which was released the year prior, and was SNK's first fighting game to focus primarily on weapon-based combat.
And escaped into the ruins of a deserted castle in search of the only way out through the castle tower.
すべては妖刀夕霧の怨念のためか。このままでは奴に切られるのを待っているようなものじゃ。
It's a 3D fighting game developed by Lightweight and published by Square. For the PS1, the game featured one-on-one armed combat. Its name refers to the Japanese warrior code of honor, Bushido. Upon its release, the realistic fighting engine in Bushido Blade was seen and innovative, particularly the game's unique body damage system. A direct sequel, Bushido Blade 2, was released for the PlayStation a year later. Another game with a release title and gameplay, Kingo Master of Bushido, was also developed for the PS2. Samurai Showdown Warrior Rage, known as New Chapter of Samurai Spirit, Strange Tale of the Swordsman, Revival of the Blade and the Red Blade, is the seventh game in the SNK Samurai Showdown series of fighting games. It was designed for the original Sony PlayStation console. The first change to the earlier game was the improved character roster, which featured all new playable characters with two exceptions, Hiyomaru and Hanzo Hitori. Though Hitori is not actually the same man as the earlier version of the game. In previous version, Hitori was Hanzo's son Shinzo, who assumed his name Nikotin. Gaira Kokoro and Rimuru, characters from the previous game, that only play a role in the story but also are presented as a playable option. Is an action-adventure game developed and published by Konami in 1999 for the PlayStation 1. From the start, the player can choose to be either a young male Ronin named Kotaro or a teenager female ninja named Lin. From then on, he or she travels through pre-rendered level, killing enemies and fulfilling their mission. The game's combat system is quite detailed and might take a while to get used to. However, when mastered, it is relatively easy for Len and Kotaro to despise multiple enemies quickly from different directions, while simultaneously avoid the enemy thrusts and swipes. Is a PS2 action-adventure game developed by Acquire. Set in the 19th century Japan, the player takes on the role of a Ronin who wandered into a remote village and becomes involved in a conflict between rival clans. A notable feature of the game is the branching storyline, which allows player decision to radically alter the course of the story. Samurai Jack, The Shadow of Aku is an action-adventure game released in 2004 by Adrenium Games. The series' original voice actors include Phil Lamar, Mako Iwa, Hamaso, Jeff Bennett, John DiMaggio, and Ginny Hale reprised their respective roles for the game. The game was released for the PS2, Nintendo GameCube, and a version of Xbox of the game was planned, but never released, even though the game features an original story interconnected throughout 18 levels in 4 worlds. The player takes control of Jack's series protagonist and main character as he rescues villagers, battle Aku minions, and ultimately search for the time portal to take him back to his own time.
Perish!
Seven Samurai 20XXX is a PS2 game released by Sami Studio in 2004. Its story and concepts are based upon Akira Kurosawa's 1954 movie Seven Samurai. Seven Samurai 20XX is a retelling of Seven Samurai in a futuristic setting. It takes various liberties with the original story to better suit the boss setting and introduce anime and modern style design.
(1159 年平治の乱、源義朝率いる源氏と平清盛率いる平氏が争った戦いは平氏が勝利し、
Genji is a 2005 PS2 game developed by Game Republic. The story followed the adventure of Minamoto Yoshida as he descends from his mountain retreat and eventually embrace a quest to defeat the Taira clan. The gameplay is a third-person combat similar to what is found in the Dynasty Warrior series. The player controls Yoshitsune or Binki, and both characters are equipped with two basic attacks, normal and specials.
Mystics. Now let's have some fun.
Indeed. Can anybody provide me with a decent challenge?
In ancient times, the Serpent King
Orochi is a beat-em-up video game for PS2 and Xbox 360 developed by Koei. The game was released on March 21, 2007. The fictional events of the game begin with the Serpent King Orochi created earlier in the time and space by creating twisted new world and bringing together warriors from three kingdoms era of China, and the warrior in the Wei-Stein period of Japan. More than 1,300 years apart in history, Orochi wishes to test the might of the warrior of these two eras. Samurai 2 Vengeance is an action video game for iOS and Android. It was developed by Midfinger Games. It is a sequel to Samurai Way of the Warrior. The gameplay: Samurai 2 Vengeance is a cel-shaded hack-and-slash video game that despites the story of great samurai is a mythological Japanese setting. The story begins when the samurai named Daisuke kills the leader of the enemies using his special combo. Samurai Gun is a 2D video action video game developed by Technopants and published by Max Studios. The game was released for Windows in 2013 and in 2015 for the PS4 and PlayStation Vita. The gameplay for Samurai Gun is local multiplayer game that supports 2 to 4 players utilizing melee and shooting mechanism as well as a platforming. Players are armed with a sword and gun with only 3 bullets per life. A match typically consists of players defeating each other with one hit with an attack with either their sword or a bullet. Both sword and bullet can be defeated by other players, and besides
こそは真田幸村。徳川の方々、土へ参れ。幸村で一人で出てきよったけど。
Samurai Warriors Spirits of Sanada is a hack and slash game by Koei Tecmo through their development subsidiary Omega Force. It is a spin-off of Samurai Warrior 4, part of the Samurai Warrior series, which is turned in a spin-off of a long-running Dynasty Warrior series. Gameplay for this game retains the basic hack and slash play of the main series. The player controls a character through a specific battlefield against an army of enemy soldiers with the ultimate objective of killing enemy's commander. Although the player will be in control to complete side objectives that will raise the morale of the player, allies, or acquire.
てめえの敵はてめえで見極めねえと。
Neo, player video game developed by Team Ninja for the PS4. It was first released worldwide in February 2017. Set during a fictionalized version of the year 1600. The plot followed the journey of Williams, an Irish sailor who pursued sorcerer Edward Kelly into the final battle of the Sengoku period during Tokugawa Ieyasu effort to unify Japan, an effort to complicate the emergence of yokai that are flourishing in the chaos of war. Gameplay revolves around navigating level and defeating monsters that have infested an area. Combat revolves around stamina or ki management and different sword stances that are strong or weak against different enemies.
SEKIRO Shadow Die Twice is a 2019 action-adventure game developed by From Software. It was released in Japan by From Software and internationally by Activision. SEKIRO follows a shinobi known as Wolf who attempts to take revenge on a samurai clan that imprisoned him and kidnapped his lord. The gameplay is focused on stealth, exploration, and combat, with a particular emphasis on boss battle. It takes place in a fictionalized Japan during the Sengoku period and makes strong reference to the Buddhist mythology and philosophy. Lead director Hidetaka Miyazaki wanted to create a new intellectual property that marked a departure from their Dark Souls series, looking at games such as Tenchu for inspiration. Ghost of Tsushima is a 2020 action-adventure game developed by Sucker Punch Production and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. The player controls Jin Sakai, a samurai on a quest to protect Tsushima Island during the first Mongol invasion of Japan. Just must choose between following the warrior code to fight honorably or using practical but dishonorable method of repelling the Mongols with minimal casualties. The game features a large open world which can be explored either on foot or on horseback. When facing enemies, the player can choose to engage in a direct confrontation using Jin Katana or to become the legendary warrior known as the Ghost by using stealth tactics. to assassinate opponents. Rise of the Ronin is a 2024 action role-playing video game developed by Koei Tecmo Team Ninja and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. The game was released on the PlayStation 5 on March 22, 2024. Rise of the Ronin allows players to create a custom character, combat feature a wide array of weapons common during the Bushin War, such as katanas and various Bushin War firearms. The game features a story choices at key moments, allowing players to side with or fight against various non-player characters, affecting the story. Historic cities Yokohama, Kyoto, and Edo can be explored as well as areas in the countryside. The player can travel with various means such as horse, grappling hook, or glider.